how would you summarize 2025, from a mutual funds investor's perspective?
I think that, so first of all, I think it was a year in which there were multiple shocks, right? If you go back to the same time last year, Mr. Trump had just come to power, but nobody knew that from January he was going to start this whole tariff war. So we're totally unexpected. So somebody sitting and saying for the new year, right, would have seen from September FI started selling. So that would have been one thing in their mind. Second was Mr. Trump has come to power, but how bad or good was his things going to be was not very clear. So that was one negative for the year, that Mr. Trump took on a make America great again, make the world worse again, kind of a highly polarized view. The second fact which affected the markets, though by the end of the year it did not, was the Indo-Pak conflict. Because the Pahalgam attack and that, naturally it caused a bit of tension. And so that period was a nervous period, right? That was the second aspect. And the third aspect was, I think that the currency weakened far more than expected. I'm trying to put ourselves at the beginning of the year. So nobody anticipated a currency sharp weakening of 6 to 7%. Nobody anticipated for tariff war coming and taking over the world dynamics. And nobody expected a Indo-Pak conflict in the middle to affect us. In fact, the view was positive because Mr. Trump and Modi had a great relationship. So the hope was that that would actually take India-US relationship forward. But the year turned out very, very opposite. Hence, I think that the important thing from last year's perspective, if you look at it, is that the diversified portfolios have done better than the concentrated portfolios, because those bets that you took at the beginning of the year, right, have not paid off. Like, you would have said that FIs are selling. If they continued selling, you would have expected the impact on the large caps, because FIs deal in large caps, but large caps turned out to be the best performing segment. So the unpredictability of the markets came to the fore. And I think it reinforced that at no point should you be undiversified, that your portfolio must carry a reasonable diversification. I think that is number one point. The second, though we'll dwell on this later, I think it showed the strength of the SIP investor. I'll come to that point when we discuss that point later. But I think it also showed the strength of systematically approaching the market. I think these two are the key takeaways from the market. True diversification. And here, since you mentioned commodities, so diversification is not just about equity and debt. I think the market taught a lesson that there are asset classes cannot ignore. So when you then now look at it, right, a customer has to look his entire portfolio